Okay. All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Concordia University's Force Space, and thank you for joining us for today's event. The Institute for Cooperative Education presents CARE 2024, an annual award and recognition event. Now, to help situate you, we are streaming this to YouTube live from Force Space. We are located on unceded Indigenous lands in Tiohtià:ke, Montreal. Here at Force Space, we work with our university community to help mobilize knowledge by co-creating daily activities that examine research questions, projects, things in development across the university. With that, it is now my pleasure to pass the microphone to the Dean of the Gina Coady School of Engineering and Computer Science, Murad Dababi. Murad, welcome.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon, everybody. Bonjour tout le monde. I'm very proud to be here today and to welcome you all to the annual CARE Awards, the Institute of Cooperative Education Awards and Recognition event. Here we gather to celebrate exceptional achievements of our co-op students from across Concordia University and to acknowledge the enriching opportunities our dedicated employers have provided. Je tiens particulièrement à exprimer ma gratitude envers les organisateurs et tous les membres de l'Institut de l'enseignement coopératif. Votre travail acharné et votre dévouement font de cet événement un succès exemplaire et c'est grâce à votre engagement exceptionnel que nous pouvons célébrer aujourd'hui. I also extend a heartfelt thank to all of you employers who are present here today. Your commitment and support are crucial in shaping our student educational experiences, leaving a lasting impact on their professional growth. Aujourd'hui, nous allons remettre 23 prix à des étudiantes, des étudiants et des employeurs exceptionnels qui ont démontré un engagement et une réussite remarquables. Ces prix sont un témoignage de la force et de l'impact de l'éducation coopérative à l'Université Concordia. Congratulations in advance to all the winners. Your outstanding achievements serve as a beacon of inspiration to all of us and showcase the transformative power of cooperative education. En conclusion, je vous remercie tous pour prendre le temps pour être ici aujourd'hui et votre engagement continu pour aider et appuyer nos étudiants. Votre participation enrichit notre communauté et renforce notre mission éducative. Please join me now in welcoming Shireen Zananiri, the Director of the Office of Experiential Learning and Co-op Education.
Merci beaucoup. Bienvenue à tous et à toutes à CARE 2024. C'est notre événement annuel pour la reconnaissance des prix et nous sommes tellement heureux et fiers de voir tellement de personnes ici. We wish to thank all of you. A warm welcome. I'm glad it's today because had it been yesterday, it would have been a hot welcome because all the air conditioning units in Concordia weren't working. So a great day that we are meeting today. So I am thrilled to see so many students, employers, faculty members, friends, parents, and family members here today. And it's truly my honor to be one of your MCs, along with Kristen Oliver.
Welcome everyone, I'm Kristen Oliver, et je suis la gestionnaire de l'Institut d'enseignement coopératif. Nous sommes extrêmement enthousiastes de vous avoir ici aujourd'hui dans les célébrations de nos étudiants et nos étudiantes, ainsi que nos employeurs exceptionnels.
Today we have the pleasure of honoring 16 outstanding students from a wide variety of programs and faculties, and 7 phenomenal employers. I'm really excited, from diverse industries and sectors. These inspiring individuals were chosen among hundreds of nominations submitted by employers, students, and our staff. And we couldn't be more thrilled to celebrate their achievements with you today. But we want to take a moment to celebrate all the remarkable achievements of our 5,000 students. We have 5,000 students in cooperative education. That's almost 10% of Concordia's population. We commend the unwavering dedication of our students who demonstrate a commitment to experiential learning, all while juggling the demands of their courses and personal responsibilities. It is a very tough and rigorous program, and really, I know we're going to leave the applause to the end, but I do want to applaud now for all the work that they've done over the 3 or 4 years of their program. De plus, nous voulons reconnaître les centaines de personnes, superviseurs et les employeurs qui ont travaillé avec dévouement pour contribuer au développement de carrière de nos étudiants. I'm not going to say that because I'm going to mess it up. Beaucoup d'heures de mentorat, d'évaluation, de feedback, des défis extraordinaires et des projets super intéressants leur ont permis de vraiment façonner les nouveaux pas vers leur carrière future. Now, I do have a very special shout out to my team. And it is thanks to them that we are here today. I am proud of their passion and the dedication they have shown to students, to employers, and everything that they do at the cooperative education. Truly, a big congratulations to all.
So our students and employers work together thanks to the devoted work of the members of our team, as well as our dedicated academic directors who support and guide our students through their academic journey here at the Institute. We'd like to take this moment to really recognize the unwavering dedication of 2 remarkable academic directors who have been pillars of support for the co-op for over decades. Harold Simpkins from marketing recently retired after 40 years with the Institute, and Barbara Shapiro from Human Resource Management after 39 years as the co-op director of JMSB. We want to acknowledge their decades of commitment, guidance, and passion, which have profoundly impacted countless students' academic journeys and professional lives.
This afternoon, we'll begin with the student awards, and then we will ask them to come up, as Bertie had mentioned earlier. We will finish that part of the ceremony with our Co-op Student of the Year award. So following the awards, we will ask the whole group to stay so we can take a full group picture. So without further ado, let's get started.
So we're going to begin with the Institute Mentorship Award. Mentorship plays a crucial role in the personal and professional development of our students, and we're very committed to this at the Institute. One of the ways we support student mentorship is through peer-to-peer learning community, which is a channel on Teams. This online community creates a way for students to guide and help each other through the challenges they face as being a co-op student. 3 of our students who lead this community are graduating this year, and we really want to thank them. Bianca Boissonneau, Nicolas Bergeron, and Yara Riz, as well as Leslie Ann Hughes for all their work facilitating this community and building it into what it really is right now. Now let's present the Mentorship Award, which recognizes a committed student mentor who, in addition to maintaining strong academic standing, has given back to the Institute community and has shown creativity and innovation in mentoring other students. And the award goes to Computer Science Co-op student Narwar Turk. Congratulations, Narwar.
Thank you very much. It's much appreciated. I will take this opportunity to share some highlights of my last co-op at Ross Video. During my time there, I assisted my team in various tasks, such as the development of the back end and the front end of our first software release. It's called Quorum. I also participated in software documentation, testing, and onboarding new hires. In addition to my technical tasks, I also assisted in organizing GrossCon 3, which is a conference, internal company conference. I also started and ran a chess club at the company to help connect co-op students with developers across different teams. My work was appreciated by my manager. I was offered a second internship, a part-time position, and an overall performance rating of exceptional. Lastly, I want to say I owe this opportunity and this achievement to the co-op and for their unconditional help throughout the years in different departments. So thank you very much for that. Appreciate it.
Our next award is the Student Ambassador. This award acknowledges a student who has been a strong advocate of and vigorous ambassador for the Institute. going above and beyond to help promote the programs, as well as guide and integrate new students. And the award goes to marketing co-op student Kelly Deshny.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And I'm so grateful to be here and to have this award. Congratulations to everyone else, to the team, as our colleague mentioned. So the highlight of my co-op journey was the opportunity to lead impactful projects under exceptional supervisors like Carrie, who is here in the room somewhere, who was my supervisor at Bombardier, and also being a leader and sharing my passion and helping other students by mentoring and being in the mentor program. Thank you.
Next is the Bergeron Family Undergraduate Scholarship. Lynn Bergeron is one of our former employees here at the Institute, who worked here for over 30 years. Lynn and her brother, who is a Concordia alumnus, joined together to create this scholarship in memory of their aunt, Madame Françoise Laurette Pressot. It recognizes an active, well-rounded undergraduate student who's inspired others and who has been an ambassador of experiential learning and their academic excellence, leadership, and commitment. We are so grateful to the Bergeron family and other generous donors who make these awards so possible. And the Bergeron Award goes to political science student Savannah Carvalho. Savannah, please join us.
Thank you so much for the award. I feel very honored, and of course, congrats to everyone here. I would like to take this opportunity to share that the highlight of my co-op journey was most definitely getting to contribute to the functioning of our parliamentary system, and in a much larger sense, our Canadian democracy, as a cabinet affairs assistant at the Privy Council Office in Ottawa. This opportunity gave me a very viable career option long-term in a field that I would have literally never known about if not for my participation at co-op, and so I'm very thankful. Thank you.
So now I have the pleasure of announcing the 3 recipients of the Employer's Choice Awards. This award is presented to 3 exemplary co-op students who have been chosen among the many who are nominated by their supervisor or manager. This award recognizes students who go above and beyond what is expected during a work term. I have to tell you, many and most of our students do. These students have demonstrated remarkable initiative and have made significant, tangible contributions to their respective employers. And the 3 awards go to journalism co-op student Linnea Davis, and she was nominated by Mary Ellen Walton, CEO of Frenzur Agency.
Hi, thank you so much to everybody who's involved in co-op and to my placement and my superior, Mary Ellen, at Frenzur. So I would say a time that I felt like I really made a difference at Frenzur, and where I still currently work actually, would be when I was part of implementing a new service at the agency. Because of high client demand and my own interest and that of one of my colleagues, our superior put her trust in us and gave us the opportunity to offer this new service, and it's been going really well since. So I'm really thankful for the trust that's been put in me to further my role, and I'm really proud that I get to offer something to actually expand the business itself. So yeah, thank you to everybody.
The next award goes to Electrical Engineering Career Edge student Nicolas Laplante, nominated by Sina Karimi, Team Lead, Research and Development at Pomerleau.
I'm not a big speech guy, but I would say that the highlight of my internship was when I was able to make a difference in my team. I was able to discuss with higher-ups and my managers about solutions and problems that we were facing as a team. And I want to say a big thank you to Pomerleau, which is a great company. We suggest to anyone to go with them, yeah, thank you.
The third award goes to Construction Engineering and Management graduate co-op student Srinivas Satpute, nominated by Sanup Kumar Putaye, Research and Development Manager at Carby Crete.
Well, thank you so much for this award. It really means a lot to me, and I want to thank Concordia University and the co-op department. I just want to say I'm really thankful to my manager, Mr. Sanup Kumar, who had assigned me to lead two productions of 2 projects, and I got to lead 6 assistants in that, and I think that was a great achievement as an intern. I got to experience new things. Well, thank you so much.
Maintenant, c'est le moment pour annoncer la bourse d'excellence Marthe Catry-Véron. Ce prix reconnaît et récompense une personne étudiante exceptionnelle du programme Coop en traduction. Ce prix rend hommage à Madame Catry-Véron, la première directrice académique du programme Coop en traduction. Cette année, ce prix décerne à Caroline Best, étudiante Coop en spécialisation en traduction option français-anglais. Félicitations.
Bonjour, merci. Je suis super reconnaissante d'être ici aujourd'hui. Je considère que mes stages, ça a été vraiment des grands succès, puis j'attribue une grande part de ce succès-là à la bienveillance de mes employeurs et de mes collègues, leur volonté d'aider. Ils ont vraiment créé un environnement où toutes les questions sont bonnes, puis vraiment propices à l'apprentissage. Merci beaucoup.
Maintenant, un autre prix en traduction, the Dieter Annis Mark Award. Ce prix récompense une personne étudiante en traduction qui a maintenu une excellente moyenne générale, tout en manifestant un sens de la responsabilité sociale dans ses activités personnelles et professionnelles. Et le prix est décerné à Mika Houl.
Bonjour à tous, je tiens à féliciter premièrement tout le monde qui sont ici. Félicitations à tous et merci à tous ceux qui sont là pour organiser également, bien apprécié. Pour l'instant, le highlight de mon parcours coop, ça a été d'intégrer une équipe vraiment incroyable au ministère de l'Éducation du Québec où j'ai eu mon premier stage, très belle expérience. J'ai pu tisser des liens avec des gens incroyables, ça m'a permis de rester là par la suite après mon stage en tant qu'étudiant à temps partiel. Donc, j'ai pu développer mes compétences encore plus, j'ai pu m'épanouir également, donc je suis très reconnaissant pour ça.
Félicitations. Our next award, the Chen Feng Huang Memorial Scholarship. These 2 awards are created by members of the Institute team, so it really touches our hearts. And it is in memory of our much beloved colleague, who was an extraordinary individual and Concordian. She was the associate director of the Institute for many years. This scholarship recognizes undergraduate students who exemplify the character traits that Chen possessed: personal accountability, collaboration, intellectual inquisitiveness, and the ability to inspire others to contribute within the workplace and the Institute community. And the 2 awards go to International Business Co-op student Anne-Marie Nguyen and Building Engineer Co-op student Timofey Shabuliuak. So Anne-Marie, if you want to come up first.
Thank you for this recognition and thank you for organizing this event. I've felt a lot of support from you, Shireen, and the Co-op Institute, so it's very appreciated. Undoubtedly, for me, the highlight of my internships revolves around the people that I've gotten to meet along the way. I've had the opportunity to work alongside talented, wonderful and generous people, supervisors and interns, and they've really played an important role in shaping the employee and student that I am today. And so that I'm very grateful towards the co-op program. So thank you.
Congratulations. Timofey?
Thank you so much for this recognition. I hope I won't take too much time, but I have just a short story to tell with you. It's an interesting story that started about a year back from now when I was accepted to work for Dragados Canada. as a junior commercial coordinator intern. Now, when I first saw my offer, I didn't really know what commercial was, but I was too excited about the idea of working project management at such a massive and successful construction company. I started investigating the commercial role by any means that I could find, including scrolling through the similar job descriptions, looking through professional articles and not so professional YouTube videos about the day in the life of a commercial project coordinator. Today, I'm happy to tell you that ever since that day, my search has never stopped. It's been a great 8-month journey during which I've learned valuable insights about the entire process of project management, let alone the commercial decision-making process. As a result of close cooperation between different teams, from accounting to legal, and from scheduling to estimation, as well as I contributed towards developing a corporate cost forecast, as well as a cash flow model. Now, during the entire time of the internship, I was supported by the team of dedicated professionals every step of my way, for whom I'm very grateful. I want to extend my gratitude to my supervisor, Amber Solomon, who I've been calling informally Professor Amber, due to the extensive knowledge and insights in project management that he generously shared with me. I want to thank my manager, David Espino, for his mission to grow people. I want to extend my regards to the rest of the commercial team and the bidding department. Everything that I learned today is a huge value added to my professional development and career goal setting process. Lastly, I want to extend my huge thanks to the Cooperative Institute for providing such an amazing opportunity to grow experiences to the ambitious young individuals that are here in this room today. I want to thank everyone once again. I hope I haven't taken too much of your time, and I trust there's more to come. Thank you so much.
Next is our Co-op and Career Edge Recognition Award of Excellence in Science. This award acknowledges an institute science student has excelled in their internship, who actively engages in volunteer work and extracurricular activities, and who contributes to creating a better and healthier future. And the award goes to Specialization Biology Co-op student Alanis Suarez. Come join us, Alanis.
Thank you so much, everyone. My speech is going to be rather short. I just want to thank the awardees for being here, everybody present, the Co-op Institute, which now has a place very important in my heart. And I just want to say that the highlight of my career has been actually getting to meet these wonderful people that have guided me through this process, through this journey. They have given me such incredible advice that I will take on into my future jobs and careers and experiences. So thank you so much, everyone.
The next award is the Co-op Recognition Award of Excellence in Finance. So this award recognizes a finance student who is active with volunteer work and extracurricular activities which promote healthier communities. And the award goes to finance co-op student Benjamin Thomas.
Thank you, everyone. It's an honor to receive that award. One highlight I'd like to share is in my internship, I started an internal reporting initiative, which is still used to this day by different managers and executives at the company. So it's really cool to see how my work is having an impact on the company. And I really look forward to my next 2 internships through the co-op journey. Thank you.
Our next award is the Emerging Leader Award. Now, this award recognizes a senior institute student who has demonstrated strong leadership skills, has had profound impact on student life or the greater Concordia community, and has maintained excellent standing at the institute. This award was created thanks to the generosity of 2 institute JMSB alumni who met during a work term and married 3 years later. So you can even find love at co-op. Thanks so much to Christina Christou and David Colasardo. They couldn't be with us today. They're here every year for your leadership and support for Institute students. And the Emerging Leader Award goes to accountancy co-op student Eduardo Reyes Marquez.
Thank you. I want to thank everyone at the Co-op Institute, of course, for this award by saying that the experiences, the enriching and very exciting experiences that I've been able to learn by being a co-op student will forever remain a part of my personal development. They are a pivotal and represent a pivotal part of better understanding and determining my future career goals. So I definitely want to encourage everyone at Concordia University to become a part of the Co-op Institute. And once again, thank you and congratulations to everyone today.
Next is the Stelkner Award. The 2 yearly recipients of this award are selected as part of an in-course scholarship competition and are awarded by the Undergraduate Scholarships Award Committee. Students who do not apply for these scholarships, but they are selected as top-ranked students who hold the required criteria for this award. Full-time economic co-op students with 60 credits completed. The 2 recipients of this award go to Honors Economics student Amina Rahman and Specialization Economics co-op student Arya Rubari. If you want to join us, Amina.
Well, thank you for the award. Well, I'm extremely thankful to the Co-op Institute for giving me the opportunity to engage in practical learning. I believe I've learned a lot throughout the whole process and developed crucial skills, which will definitely be helpful in the future. So thank you, everyone, and congratulations to all.
And Arya?
Thank you. Congratulations to everyone. I want to say a special thanks to the Institute and everyone who supported me throughout the journey. It was really difficult for me to, sort of stream it down to one highlight. So I'm just going to say that all of the experiences collectively enhanced my ability to be more flexible and adaptable, which really is going to be very helpful in my future endeavors in finance, which is actually something that I discovered as a result of these internships. I had no idea what I wanted to do before. So really grateful for that. And lastly, I want to say a special thank you to my colleagues and supervisors at Walter Surface Technologies, Fundica, and Fordia, powered by Epiroc. Thank you.
And now we have the honor of presenting our final student award, the Alexandre Quintal Co-op Student of the Year. Alexandre Quintal was an actuarial mathematics student who tragically passed away in 2005. The Institute of Cooperative Education and his family created this scholarship to honor his memory. This award recognizes a student's academic success and outstanding work term performance. And the award goes to industrial co-op student Wong Lin Nguyen. We are truly honored to have Lin with us today. Lin recently received an honorable mention at this year's Sewell Co-op Student of the Year Award. So that's the first time we've had a student recognized by nationally. We really want to congratulate you for this, Lin, and your national honor. We're so impressed with what you've already accomplished during your degree here at Concordia, and we really can't wait to see what you do in the future.
Good evening, everyone, and congratulations to all the awardees today. It is such a big honor to be standing here and talk about my experience. And I think the co-op experience really transformed my path as an industrial engineer student from international. So for those who don't know me, I'm from Vietnam. And this might a bit silly to say, but coming from Vietnam without any work experience prior, there are certain things that sound super far-reaching to me. For example, working in the aerospace industry. For my mom, she thought it meant working as a flight attendant, not even a pilot. But no, with the Co-op Institute help, I had the opportunity to work in 2 aerospace company. I had almost 2 years working experience, both full-time and part-time, before I even graduated. So it's really transformed, I think, my whole academic career and also professional life. So Co-op Institute and Concordia really have shown me that a dream does really come true. And the award that I'm receiving today is really a testament of the support and opportunity that I have received. So thank you so much.
So before we move to the next part, I want us to recognize all these fantastic students with a full round of applause from everybody. Il est maintenant temps de tourner notre attention vers nos employeurs, qui sont des véritables partenaires avec nous à l'Institut. Nous sommes ravis d'avoir autant d'employeurs incroyables ici à Montréal, à travers le Canada et aussi le monde entier. Les opportunités que vous offrez à nos personnes étudiantes sont transformatantes pour eux et au début de leur carrière, et ça leur permet vraiment de découvrir qu'est-ce que c'est le monde du travail. Nous aimerions aussi souligner que toutes ces nominations ont été faites par les étudiants. C'est eux qui ont reconnu leurs superviseurs et les employeurs.
Perfect. Notre premier prix s'appelle le prix de la meilleure entreprise pour l'intégration, la culture et l'apprentissage. Ce prix récompense un employeur qui intègre extrêmement bien ses stagiaires et qui favorise une culture qui soutient les opportunités d'apprentissage en stage. Cette année, ce prix est décerné à Félix Gendron, contrôleur financier COSI. Félix a été nommé par Maria Ivanov, un étudiant coop en finance. Est-ce que tu peux nous rejoindre? Merci.
Congrats to everyone, and special thanks to Mario, who I mean, I wouldn't be here without him, and it's a special thing to receive an intern, and maybe you don't know that. You will probably in your future careers as you become future managers, I'm sure. But Mario was my first intern, and I think I learned as much through him as I hope he learned through me. And so yeah, best of luck to everyone, and thanks again to the Institute.
Now we'll present the Top Supervisor Award. This award recognizes a supervisor who has demonstrated exemplary mentoring and coaching during an internship. The Top Supervisor Award goes to Melody Ajaman, Global D2C e-commerce project leader at Nestlé Health Sciences. Melody was nominated by Daniel Bosky and Anne-Marie Nguyen, both international business co-op students. Unfortunately, Melody couldn't be with us today, so we accept on her behalf the award, and she did provide us with the answer to our question about what she found to be the most enjoyable experience being a supervisor. And she said what she enjoyed most was working with Anne-Marie and Daniel, was seeing all the knowledge and experience they learned throughout their experience, and especially watching them use it in action. She said that she often was taken aback at the level of insight and their creative approaches to tackling business problems. Congratulations to Melody.
Next, we have the Top Internship Most Impactful and Challenging Project. This award recognizes a supervisor who provided an especially challenging internship where the student was stretched, well-supported, and given the opportunity to really deliver a sustainable impact on a project. And the award goes to Carrie Lamont, Shows and Events Manager at Bombardier. Carrie was nominated by Kelly Dagenet, a marketing co-op student. Carrie, will you join us?
Hi, everyone. My name is Carrie, and I was a Concordia intern, probably 35 or so years ago. And I've been at Bombardier for that long. So it's amazing for me to be standing here and sitting, listening to everyone speak. Congratulations, everyone. I'm here for Kelly. I cannot believe what she did for us at Bombardier. The Formula One week here in Montreal is crazy. I don't know if anyone has driven around the streets during Formula One in Montreal. It's crazy. Kelly, we gave her an opportunity and she excelled at being able to manage probably about 100 or 200 of our top customers that come to town. It was an unbelievable task. She rose to it. But one of the things I think that I'm so proud of Kelly for was the amount of time that she spent creating strong relationships. So if I get 30 seconds up here and a room full of students, I can't tell you enough as in management, how much we want you to learn how to create strong relationships, up, down, left, right, across each other, across managers, across everyone, because that's what's going to lead you forward. And Kelly did an outstanding job at that. So thank you for us at Bombardier and congratulations, everyone.
One thing we didn't mention before, and it's interesting that our last recipient talked about 35 years. This year, we are marking 44 years of cooperative education at Concordia. So quite a milestone for the Institute. So now I'm very happy to present the Mentor Awards for a program that is very dear to us. It's called the Women in Engineering Career Launch Experience, which we lovingly call Weekly, and we launched around COVID. Lucia, is that when we launched it? Yeah. In 2020, so full on COVID. Now, Weekly is a unique internship offered by the Institute in partnership with our industry leaders in the field of engineering computer science. So the program was created to help close the gender gap in engineering. The internship includes mentorship and professional development for women identifying students in the Gina Cody School. The award recognizes 3 Weekly mentors, all of whom volunteer in this role. That's over and above if they are supervising their students and over and above, of course, their work. And they have made a significant impact on the students' professional and personal growth and overall internship experience. So in alphabetical order, and our first awardee is not with us today, Alicia Lau, software developer team lead at Genetech. And Alicia was nominated by computer engineering student Lauren Lastoria. So we want to offer her our warmest congratulations. Nous aimerons présenter le 2e prix à Yves Mercier, qui est ingénieur mécanique à Andritz Hydro. Yves a été nominé par Claudine Morissette, étudiante coop en génie mécanique. Félicitations, Yves.
Merci beaucoup. I'm proud of this recognition. Je suis très heureux d'avoir ce prix parce que c'est comme un peu l'achèvement de tout ce que je fais depuis plusieurs années avec plusieurs stagiaires dans des rôles similaires. J'ai la flexibilité de pouvoir accompagner des stagiaires de façon individuelle dans leur parcours. Je pense que c'est un petit peu ça qui me fait que je suis ici aujourd'hui, d'après la reconnaissance que Claudine a eue envers ce que j'ai pu lui fournir à travers le stage en étant à la fois son mentor et son superviseur technique. Donc, un peu le parcours, je pense que c'est vraiment d'accompagner les étudiants puis de vous amener du point A au point B. Puis des fois, on oublie dans notre rôle qu'est-ce que c'était d'être sur les bancs d'école ma dernière année, où est-ce qu'on s'en va, essayer de trouver un peu le chemin vers quoi on doit s'enligner, essayer de trouver qu'est-ce qui correspond à notre personnalité. Je pense que c'est un petit peu ça là, que j'ai essayé de faire avec Claudine, puis je crois que ça démontre que j'ai probablement réussi, donc je suis très content.
And the third award goes to someone who's very close to the Institute, and we're so pleased that she receives this award, Josie Scalia from Nestlé Health. And she's been the biggest supporter for us here at the Institute, and she was nominated by Émilie Leblanc.
Thank you so much for this. I am definitely a big supporter of Concordia, a very proud alumni as well. It's a real honor for me to be the mentor for Émilie Leblanc. She's an incredibly brilliant individual. She approaches every challenge with enthusiasm and an open, creative mindset. She was able to work in a cross-functional teams and earned the respect of the global team in Switzerland. And so I just wanted to thank you for this and the opportunity to be her mentor.
And now we have our Concordia Alumni Employer Award. This award proudly recognizes a Concordia graduate who has paid it forward by hiring Institute students for work terms within their own organization. We are thrilled to see Concordia alumni passing on the knowledge and experience to the next generation. This year, the Alumni Employer Award goes to Vince Hua, President and CEO of VFIS. Vince, on behalf of all of us, would you please join us at the front to share your experience working at the Institute?
Well, thank you, the Co-op Institute, for giving me this award. And it was really a pleasure to host a lot of students over the years. And I'll give you a parallel between what I found managing the company is that it's like a hockey team. We're in a hockey season right now. And in a team, in a hockey team, what do you have? You have veteran players and rookies. So interns are like rookies. So in order for a company to grow, you need to have rookies that will perform well and that will work hard to become veterans in the future. So like I said, today's rookies and interns, tomorrow's veterans and leaders.
Congratulations. Okay. We want to recognize and thank all our generous donors that have made these awards possible. And it really helps students achieve their goals. So don't hesitate to reach out if you want to also create an award in your name and to recognize our incredible students.
So we'd like to say a heartfelt thank you to each and every one of you for joining us today to celebrate our students and employers. It's been an absolute pleasure to share this with you today.
To all our awardees, once again, congratulations. This will conclude the first part of our activities today, but I'm going to invite all the awardees up so we can take a group picture. And then for the rest of you, hold on tight because we've got a really fantastic panel that will start in, looking at my timekeeper, 10 minutes? Yeah, so great, I'll have more time. So thank you again, congratulations. We are so proud of all your achievements, and I want to really, again, thank you employers for everything that you do for our students. benefits for organizations. When organizations invest in their internal talent, it can reduce costs, improve efficiency, and build stronger company culture, all of which are essential for achieving long-term success. So when we talk about reducing costs, we're talking about recruitment, onboarding, and that's a lot of savings in time and resources. It also accentuates stronger company culture and engagement. It allows for faster integration and builds talent loyalty. So I'm just going to maybe show it to you in numbers, because sometimes numbers can speak quite loud. So typically in Canada, when you hire a full-time employee, it basically costs an organization anywhere between 1.2 to 1.4 times their salary. That's the average. We're not talking about a complicated role or anything of the sort. That's the average. If we look at an intern for a 12-week internship, recruiting costs, which includes personnel, like the hours they spend, if they're attending fairs, doing info sessions, moving, that's about $6,100. If you pay the student about $10,000 at about $20-odd an hour, and then you add about $4,600 for 10 hours per week for the managers to supervise. It is a cost of $21,000. Now, remember, if you hire somebody on a full-time basis, it's 1.2 to 1.4 times their salary. So if you even hire someone coming in, startup position, $48,000, you are already making a substantial amount of savings. And even if the student doesn't pick you initially and decides to boomerang back with a bit more experience, your savings is even more. So it makes every bit of sense to do so. So to help us understand the whole phenomenon and what organizations do and what students are looking for, I am very pleased and honored to have our panelists today. I'm going to let them introduce themselves as they answer their first question, but I'm just going to give you their names. So across from me, Marco Beaulieu, he is the Director, School Partnerships and Internship Experience at Bombardier. Just imagine they created a title just for us. Savannah, you saw earlier, Savannah Carvalho is a third-year undergraduate and co-op student in studying political science. Julie Lavallée, VP, Human Resources, Engineering Services, Capital Operations, Maintenance, and Global IT, sorry, it's a long title, at AtkinsRealis. And you also met earlier Josie Scalia, she's Head of Tax at Nestlé Health Science. Thank you so much for accepting our invitation. So if you want to clap, absolutely. So I prepared two questions. And so the first question, we'll start off by an employer question. So what strategies have been effective in retaining interns and ensuring a smooth transition to permanent roles? So before answering, I will ask, maybe Marco, would it be okay to start? And maybe you can give a little bit, a little bio about yourself and tell us.
It won't be long. We have 25 minutes each for a brief introduction. So let's start. I'm an engineer working in HR. So if you have a face of diversity, I'm one of it at Bombardier. So I joined Bombardier 12 years ago to lead knowledge management practice across the engineering team. And I moved to HR when we started the internship program in 2018. At that time, we used to have 400 interns, and we moved to 1,300 2018 to 2023. So a very great experience. And after that, I moved as the head of talent acquisition for the entire Bombardier with 55 amazing recruiters across the world to attract talent. So we are in a very good mood at Bombardier, as you notice, with the stock price, obviously, and the employee engagement. And now recently, at the beginning of April, We create a new role, school partnership and internship experience. So my main focus is school, technical school, university, Canada, US, and Mexico. So I'm very happy to be here. And Concordia, I was not accepted at Concordia, only Polytechnic, but you're very close to my heart. So.
Hello, everyone. My name is Savannah Carvalho. As mentioned, I am a third-year undergraduate student and co-op student at Concordia. I'm studying political science. I'm actually doing an honors in political science. I'm very proud of that. I have completed 3 internships as a co-op student at Concordia. The first as a student intern at Infrastructure Canada. The second as a product design coordinator at Josie. I actually see some familiar faces here. And most recently as a cabinet affairs assistant at the Privy Council Office of the Government of Canada in Ottawa. I've had an absolutely amazing experience as a co-op student. I am extremely grateful, and I feel very honored to be here speaking today and getting to share my experiences with you all.
Good day. As mentioned, I'm a VP of HR. Let's keep it for Canada sector. It will be more simple. I've joined the organization 16 years ago, so I went through a lot of variety of position and roles. The first one being leading recruitment, including campus recruitment for the 7 first year at, back in the day it was called SNC, now AtkinsRealis. It was a really nice journey that brought me into the business in the mining sector and then corporate function. And then I'm back into the business with the engineering group. Prior to that, I was part of the manufacturing industry more for the first 15 years of my career and then into the retail. So I have a broad scope of experience, always in HR, as mentioned, various roles, and it's been a pleasure. It's been a focus in each of those positions to work with the various universities that we had across the region or Canada.
My name is Josephine Scalia. Everyone calls me Josie. So by way of background, I'm actually a Concordia alumni. I mentioned earlier, a Bachelor of Accounting. I have a CPA. I also have an MBA. And I'm working at Nestlé Health Science, so I'm head of tax. Before that, I was with a big shipping company. And then the first 12 years of my career, I started with the big 4 accounting firms, where I did a lot of on-campus recruiting. I had spent a good part of my life living in the United States as well, where I also did campus recruiting there in the States. So I'm really happy to lead the program, the internship program for Nestlé Health Science here in Montreal. So not just limited to tax and finance interns, but we also had supply chain, we have IT, HR, and marketing D2C.
Well, keep the mic so you can start.
Okay.
What strategies have been effective in retaining interns and ensuring a smooth transition to permanent roles?
I would say a lot of the strategies are the same that you would have for any employees. I think that making sure that they feel part of the culture, a bigger group. We've been, ever since COVID, sort of have like a bit of a hybrid type of setup, which I like. So we have, I don't like to use the word mandatory. We have, strongly encouraged 2 days in the office, so Tuesdays and Thursdays. And I've been trying, at least for my team, to make sure that if you're going to make people come in, then you have to have a good reason. So on Tuesdays, we'll have a group meeting where everybody will be there in person. Thursdays, we have a walking club, which is actually pretty popular at noon, and have a little bit of a less formal moment where you can meet supervisors and other team members, and the interns get to interact as well. And so I think that giving them that opportunity to come together and having the different from that perspective seems to work well.
Thank you. Julie?
I'll build a bit on what you were saying. Culture is very important, and to build a culture, we have the hybrid work-life balance also, so we tend to bring people at work for special event and or for activities with either the management, some of the ERG group. What we call ERG is the employee resource group, and we have few of those group within our organization. We have the Equilibrium, we have the Excellence for Women, we have the Indigenous group, and they organize regular activity where we pull resource and leadership team to attend and to participate. In addition to that, of course, when I think about that question, I mean, they come as an intern to make sure that we can continue. We build on that communication, relationship. So it's important for us to build relationship with our people. And for sure, there are people in the team that are the buddy of those individuals to make sure that they connect on a regular basis and they stay connected after the internship and bring them back for either a second internship or for a position eventually to retain them or engage them as an employee. So that has been successful. Sometimes we have people that are on a shorter schedule, on a part-time schedule. So we try to adapt. It's not always feasible, but we tend to promote that internally in order to connect those people and stay connected with our people. Thank you.
Yeah. We'll pass it on to you afterwards.
So it's hard to add on every good things you mentioned, but I will say, so we obviously start with an amazing internship experience with something that will make sure that we provide an inclusive and engaging work culture. So I react every time I've heard one of our interns say, oh, I'm just an intern, and I interrupt everyone that mentioned that. So you're part of the team, so you have a key role. So in our org chart, we have a position for interns. So we're used to have interns in our workforce, and we want to make sure that they feel part of the team and they have amazing project, they are part of decisions. So because it's way better than an interview to get someone for 4 or 8 months. And also from a student standpoint, you can see, do I like the culture? Do I like the job? Do I see myself in that organization for a while? So with that, it's making sure that we have amazing opportunity, and also we create networking event that everyone in the organization can see the talent that we have. I may not have a position in my team, but someone else can have it. So and as far as the strategy, it's to open entry-level positions. So most of our big organization, as you know, we have someone with 10 years experience that lead the organization. We want to replace him or her with exactly the same skill instead of moving people internally and opening entry position to give a chance to the next talent, because they are very amazing. And also doing social events. So the more we are connected with them, the more close with them, and the more we can give part-time opportunity while they're back for the last 2 semesters. We are tied in a liaison, so it's great, and we've been quite successful in the past with converting interns to permanent. It's one of the, I'm very proud to say, it's one KPI in my CEO dashboard, conversion interns to permanent. So it's not only a wishful thinking, it's something that they are tracked, and we are making great efforts to make it happen. So
can you share any figures?
Oh yes, I can, if you ask me. So even though if I say a couple of numbers, but over here, and I've got my specialist in the room, I won't put her on spot, but she's got the right numbers. But we hired more than 150 interns as a permanent employee a year. So that's the and we just to give you some perspective, in 2019 we hired 12 of them. So when we started the program, that was to making sure for us, one of our first purpose is to give everyone the work integrated learning experience. And now we move where we need to keep that talent. You talked about a few minutes ago about the cost of training from a supervisor standpoint and as well from the student standpoint. And we want to keep them because they're ready to go. So next assignment, know the culture, the system, the business, the technology, and they are functional day one. So this is very powerful. So that KPI, it's not only to get something on the dashboard that trigger the culture. Okay, give a chance to the people that you know. And we have one of your awardees, Kelly, and I talked to her awardee manager a few minutes ago. So let's prepare. She's getting her diploma in next December. So we're going to be ready for you, Kelly.
So turn to you, Savannah. So to get a student perspective from a different angle. So, you know, we talk about interviewing, and interviewing sometimes is seen as one way. But interviewing is a two-way process. It's an ability for employers to discover the candidate, but it's also for the candidate to discover, and the student intern to learn about the organization and if it's a right fit. And fit goes both ways in any relationship. So a question for you is, what would you do differently in selecting an employer during the interview process, given the experiences you've had already?
Yeah, this is a great question, and this is something that I kind of had to learn as a co-op student. I would say in my early interviews, I didn't really think to do this, and this is something that I know how to do now because I'm a co-op student, but I totally agree that fit is probably the most important thing, or at least one of the most important things. And so one question that I like to ask in interviews is basically just ask the interviewer or the employer if they have any sort of mechanisms or strategic onboarding and implementation processes or standards that they typically use when onboarding students or recent graduates, really anyone. And I find that the answer can be very telling of the company's culture and that person's attitude towards students or recent graduates. And I don't think that there's necessarily a correct answer to that question. I think as the interviewee, you just kind of have to ask the question to hear the response. And then from there, you can judge if you like that response or not and how that makes you feel. So I can give you some practical examples. I've asked this question basically every internship since my first few interviews. And I've received responses like, yes, we're going to pair you up with someone. You're going to shadow them for a few days. We have team activities that we like to do. And so that's always been a good sign to me because it's shown that there's some experience onboarding new students or recent graduates. And there's some thoughtfulness that goes into that process. I've also received the response, and this is not a criticism of that interviewer in particular, but he kind of scoffed and said, well, you can eat lunch with us. And some people might love that response. Some people might hear that and think, great. But that was an indication to me that I was going to be kind of working very independently. And the most collaboration I was going to do, or most communication, the most, I guess, interaction I was going to have was with people at lunchtime. I realized later on in my co-op journey that that wasn't the sort of support that I wanted from my employers. And like I said, some people might love that. Some people thrive working independently. You know, they like to do their own thing. I like to work very collaboratively. I like to be part of the team. And so I was looking to the answers to those sorts of questions. Like I said, what sort of mechanisms or procedures do you have in place to get a sense of the culture, like I said, of the company, the nature of the work, as well as, to use perhaps not a professional word, but the vibe, the overall vibe. And then I would use that answer to ask myself how I felt about the interview overall. And so I would reflect, and that was very telling. And it really became a sort of trust your gut situation. And I felt that when I trusted my gut, I had the best internships possible. Whereas, you know, when I didn't trust my gut, I would say the first internship I did, I was just really happy to be offered an internship. I had some reservations, but overall it was a great experience. But I did not listen to my intuition for that internship. I was worried that I maybe wasn't going to be a great culture fit, that employer didn't know what co-op was. I should have maybe seen that as a little bit of a red flag, but nonetheless, I had a great opportunity and great time there. But my point is, in terms of practical advice that I can give students and maybe stuff for employers to keep in mind, co-op interns are going through a very intense period of development and growth, and they have to do it 3 times over. And we want to see that you are invested in our growth as much as we are. So we want to see the employers buying into that and providing us opportunities to do that. And I think 3 months is such a short period of time that if there is no strategic plan to get the student involved or the recent graduate involved, then there's a potential to miss an opportunity to expose them to as much as possible and to give them really the best internship possible. So yeah, asking those questions and then seeing how you feel with the response.
Wow. Do you know now why she won one of our awards?
Thank you.
So my next question for the employers is, what personal quality or attributes do you prioritize when selecting interns for long-term conversion? So what are you looking for?
One of the first things that we look is curiosity. I mean, people need to have that learning experience, as you were mentioning. I mean, you come in, you want to be trained, you want to be developed, and we like to think that people are looking for a journey with our organization. So therefore, curiosity and learning will certainly be one. Change, adaptable and change. We're in a world that is on constant change and movement. The world, sometimes it's a challenge to keep up with all of that in the workplace environments. It's the same situation. We live through changes. I mean, changes is kind of the norm these days. So adaptability to change will certainly be one of the key competencies that we're looking at. And last but not least, problem solving. I mean, there's a lot of, especially in engineering, we want and look to solve situation and problems. So therefore, we will look at that analytical skills that support that competence.
Yeah. I'll go next. Similar to what you're saying, curiosity, what I'm calling a growth mindset. This idea that they're constantly thirsty for more information to learn. I'm gonna also add and say teamwork is really important. One of my favorite questions to ask in an interview is, and I'll give it away, it's fine, is, give me an example of a time that you've had a conflict with someone, how did you deal with it? I love all your, discussions about teamwork in your classrooms. There's always interesting things that come out of there. How do you deal with that? Because you're going to end up having the same thing in work. We do a lot of teamwork, and I was happy to hear you talking about the teams, and really happy to have a lot of our interns stay on part-time. I think it works out terrific. We always work really closely. I always say school comes first. So, as they have their exams, but just keeping them on, even if they only do, a few hours or 10 hours a week, something like that. But that, let's say 1 or 2 hours where they're training the new intern really makes a big difference, I find. On both sides. And also when it goes back to the culture, right? Like we have a foosball table and they have tournaments and they split up into this, and or the different activities that we have and how they sort of group up together. I really love seeing the cross-functional, so that you have like the finance people with the marketing group, and because what ends up happening sometimes is a lot of those, let's say the finance or the accountants, end up going to the Big Four, where then it's just all the same type, but having come, through the Nestlé Health Science Group, where you just work with people in all the different disciplines, including, computer engineering or whatnot, it gives them a different perspective.
Great.
Thank you. So when you're the last one, your lists are shorter. So I only have 26 remaining quality we're looking for to do an internship at Bombardier. I will name a few. I like the adaptability and willingness to learn. So no student from Concordia made this in the past, but we had students that they know everything. I've done my bachelor engineering, doing my master's, so I know everything. So be humble and willing to learn, because you are in a learning environment for 4, 8, or 12 months. It depends on your program. So on that, getting that mindset will help a lot, because supervisors are willing to help if you're open to receive new skills and new coaching and everything. So this is very interesting. Passion, love what you do, because that will make a difference. You can get an internship 40 hours a week, you clock your time, do your job, go home, and that's it. Be passionate, because life is short, so you need to have fun, and that starts with your internship, and that will make your life very much easier. The communication skills, even though if you're not good or you're in a working environment, and you want to progress your whatever your French or English skills, it's the perfect time to do it. Let me tell you one example that I want to share with you. She's with us in the room. I won't name her. Concordia student. Mostly working in English at school and in her family, and I think Italian as well. She did the orientation session in French the first week she joined Bombardier because she's taking care of the internship activity that we have at Bombardier. She did fantastic. She was prepared. There's no grade. You're not going to be A+ or B, so she did a fantastic job. And I'm pretty sure she was very proud at the end of that conference. So she practiced her French in front of a 65 student, and she did fantastic. So she put her ego aside and was willing to keep, that's fine, so I'm going to do it. So we did the English version after, and that was on purpose. The stress in the morning, easy stuff in the afternoon. So willingness to learn, and she did fantastic. So very proud of her. And as well, initiative and proactivity. Don't be shy. Okay, I'm asking you to do this, but okay, and making sure that you can expand and do more with respect of your time and work-life balance, obviously. But don't be stick to your job description. You can do more and network with other people in different departments. And finally, the networking part, it's important. So we organize, we call it networking for success, where interns sort of a speed networking, I won't say speed dating, can be a different purpose, but the speed networking, you can talk to different supervisors from other departments that you don't have a chance to talk to them during your 4 months or 8 months at Bombardier. And the more you grow your network, you never know who you're going to have to talk to after your internship or when you're going to look for a job. So this is in a nutshell the quality we're looking for.
Awesome, thank you. Savannah, so you spoke to us about the interview process, so selecting for the intern. Now you're looking at upon graduation, and how will you choose an organization? What is going to make it or break it and say, oh my God, I want this organization, or no can do?
Yeah, that's another great question. And I do want to take a second to acknowledge that I've had amazing internships. I've had 3 internships and they've all been great. And I'm very thankful for the opportunities that my employers have afforded me. And I think I genuinely have the possibility to reach out to all 3 of those previous employers and potentially look into maybe bridging into those positions, which is great. And I feel very fortunate to have that sort of comfort and to have gone through the process of developing those relationships. So that, that's one way that I would approach it. But out of all of the internships, and I'm very excited to get to talk about PCO, the Privy Council Office. It was my last internship, and it was just such an amazing experience. I never lost that sense of excitement and curiosity. The work was never boring, although it was challenging at times for sure. I have to say that it just felt like it was right for me, and I'm very thankful if my boss is watching right now or sees this at some point at the Privy Council Office. Thank you so much. I've said it many, many times to her. The whole team was amazing. But to get back on track, I think there's 2 things that I would take into account when deciding where to get bridged into or where to work permanently after graduation. The first one being, as I mentioned, that sense of excitement, that sense of fitting in, the curiosity, the willingness to learn. I really felt that at the Privy Council Office. I think, again, because I'm a political science student, I was very proud to be a public servant. The experience, as I said, was surreal, and it really felt like a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. So I think that's the first thing that students should be looking for, is just a genuine desire and interest to continue in that role or with that organization. But secondly, I think the support system and culture of the organization is something that I would consider very seriously. Mainly because even if you love your job and it's very exciting and you're able to maintain that sense of curiosity and purpose, the work is not always fun. It's not always easy. Every now and then you do have to do something that you kind of don't want to do. And I think that's where the support system and culture really comes into play. As I said many times already, I was very fortunate at the Privy Council Office because I had a fantastic support system. I will note that this was in the public service. And I love working in the public service, but it was also specifically the individuals that I was working with and the connections I made with them. Little gestures meant so much to me, and I felt just so genuinely integrated into the team and valued and heard. I got to meet with my boss on a regular basis at the Privy Council Office, which was just a small thing. I think we all meet with our supervisors quite regularly. But having that time set aside on a regular basis allowed me to manage my workload in a way that I felt very comfortable in my position. It helped me prepare my questions and be very proactive in my work. It helped me express my interest in opportunities that extended beyond the roles of my particular position. And so I got to get exposure to so many different things that I didn't really think I was going to get to do at the Privy Council Office as an intern, which was fantastic. And I also got to develop relationships with my boss in those 30-minute meetings, but also with really everyone in my team. And I think really those relationships especially, and getting to know my employers and my teammates on a very personal level. Not everyone loves to do this, and it can be hard sometimes to open up about yourself to your employer, especially as a co-op student. I think we're in a very unique position in our life. We're both students and employees at the same time. People who graduate and go on to be employees don't, well, maybe employers later on, can't necessarily relate to having one foot in and out of the door at the same time. So it's not always easy to relate to our coworkers, but having that time set aside, and I think also my excitement and my curiosity kind of encouraged other people to approach me as well, which was very nice. All of that overall just created such an amazing experience. And if I can share a personal story, I would say throughout my internship, I probably mentioned to people a lot that I love architecture. I love staring at buildings. And getting to work in the sort of heritage sites on the hill, and where in downtown Ottawa, so Parliament buildings and whatnot, was such a treat. And so I had expressed this many times to my employer, my boss, during our meetings when we had a little bit of time left over. And as my going away gift, she actually booked my farewell lunch at the Parliament restaurant. So it's the restaurant in the Parliament building. And I freaked out. I can't stop talking about it. Anyone who's stuck in a room with me will hear about it at some point. I will find you to tell you about this experience. It was amazing. And that was just a very personal gesture that I was just blown away by the thoughtfulness of it. And that's certainly something that I would look for going forward in an employer, someone who actually, as I mentioned before, cares about my professional development as much as I do, but also cares about me as a person. That was really nice, because at the end of the day, we put in our hours, but we want to enjoy doing it, right? And so being in an environment where you feel supported and heard and included and valued is a great sort of privilege to have, and that's certainly something that I would be looking for in any future position and organization I work for.
Thank you. So I have one last question for all of you, the same question, but for obviously different angles, before we'll open it to questions from the audience. What can we, as an institution, as Concordia, do better to facilitate this, to facilitate you hiring an intern who will then become an employee? You could expand on that. And then from your perspective as a student, what can we do better to help support you?
Should I maybe go first, since I still have the mic?
Absolutely, if you're ready. And I'm sorry, because I didn't send you this question, so this is off the cuff.
That's okay.
I didn't know I'd have time, so I can't let this opportunity pass.
That's totally fine. Again, I think it's a great question, and co-op does so much. The Institute is extremely supportive. Being a co-op student is a tough endeavor. Sometimes, we face challenges that can feel very discouraging or overwhelming. And I think part of the reason I was able to overcome those barriers was because of the support I received at co-op. So I would say overall the Institute's doing a great job. I mean, you said earlier 44 years. That's a huge milestone, and obviously you have the results that show that the program is working. I would say one thing that Leslie and some other people at co-op mentioned to me when I was starting out co-op, and I think something I had to remind myself a lot, was the mentality piece of being a co-op student. Starting out, I felt very insecure. The imposter syndrome was crazy. I felt very thankful and grateful for the opportunities I had, but the way I expressed that gratitude was probably not the most optimal for developing relationships and making a good impression. I think I was very shy and reserved. I think I am as a person in general, but I kind of let myself get overwhelmed by the opportunity. I didn't believe in myself. I felt like I owed it to my boss, like he had done something great for me by hiring me, and I wasn't sure that I had anything to contribute to the team, which I realize now is not the right way to go into an internship. And so I really had to, I'm a bit of like a cliche person. I like quotes and stuff. So you're like one day at a time, or, you know, fake it till you make it. And so I had to start including these sorts of corny affirmations into my everyday operations or work in order to kind of develop the confidence that I think later on allowed me to develop those relationships, to integrate into the culture of my organizations, the organizations that I worked with, and to really thrive. And so, and like I said, co-op does this already, but just reminding students that the sort of uncertainty that they're experiencing as a result of being in these intense periods of growth is very normal. I think every single co-op student I've spoken to has experienced this at some point, and that's okay, and it will get better. And so I would just, you know, in terms of practical advice, I would just tell co-op employees to just continue reminding students of that, because sometimes it takes a second or even a third internship to get there. But the mentality that you bring to your internship can have really tangible effects on the experience that you have. So I like to think, and I don't want to take up too much time here, but I like to think, again, my cliches and whatnot, like I said, fake it till you make it is a great one. No one has to know that you're anxious or nervous or stressed, or, you know, you're feeling imposter syndrome unless you express that to people. And in some cases, it's perfectly fine to do that, but that's totally your choice, right? You can opt to not share those things with people. And, you know, ultimately, I think it's just a question of believing in yourself, and that takes some time to get there. But yeah, the Co-op Institute could for sure remind students of that throughout. I think that was something that helped me, and I think that will help future co-op students as they go through their journey.
Thank you.
I'm the lucky one. Oh, you know what is having a hot seat, so I'm going to try to say something interesting. Maybe one thing, it's first, you're doing great. We can see the difference between a co-op student and the one that are not in a co-op program, because you give some training for interview, preparing themselves, and you've got some touch point with the student and supervisor. So this is great. I know it's very difficult to get the feedback from supervisor standpoint. Thank you. You sent me the result of last fall, so at least we can improve our program on different area. One thing you may want to add, it's to get some steering committee with employers. So to get some, so that example. So what have you experienced? So what can we do? Do we have something that happened at the moment with one of our or some of our students? Nothing personal, but okay, are they prepared? On my standpoint, they're not good in networking on LinkedIn. They don't know that social media. I'm a big fan. This is our social media network in the business. So very few of them are active because they're shy. Do I talk on my name on behalf of Bombardier? Can I do that? So just getting prepared, just getting notice that, okay, now in the industry, this is one of the, there's other social media that I won't talk about, but LinkedIn, it's one of the things. Students are not prepared for that. It's a small thing, but getting touch point maybe twice a year with the industry that will give. So maybe getting someone from the industry giving lectures. You mentioned very amazing things, that it's just fantastic. So getting touch point with, you prepare your student for interview. What about bringing recruiters from one of our industry? Okay, this is making sure that you won't feel imposter. So, and we all know we hire students because it's a development opportunity. We don't expect to get someone that perfect in every aspect of the job or the task that we're looking for. So that can be my recommendation, but very small improvement because you're doing great. That's why we are having a lot of interns from Concordia on a regular basis. So, was it good?
I have to say I don't have much to add to what you just mentioned. Maybe one avenue, is there anything that, you know, students are trained? Is there any feedback that could be given also to employer? for us to adjust. I mean, time pass, there's new generation that are coming in. We need to adapt as much as they need to adapt to us. I think it's a two-way street. You're talking about the fit and everything. So I think it's important to have those information and make sure that we as employer are also well equipped. We think we have teams, we have people in various groups that are a champion, the buddy. So we think that we are organized. Maybe there's something that we could do better, and through feedback from the students, we can hear from that a little bit more so we can adjust and adapt if need be. You're talking about development. We think it's important when people come in, we develop, we invest. Is it the right path all the time? Is there something that we should do differently? I think there's opportunity for us to learn also. It's a two-way street.
I really love working with the co-op. And it's been, 17, almost 18 years. I'm looking at Richard Malokian. And one of the things that I would say that you guys do right is that human connection, is that there's somebody I can actually pick up the phone and talk to if I have any questions. That really makes a big difference from my perspective. I know throughout the years we had discussions, especially when you come on the finance side, it's like, Excel. Like, why don't they know Excel inside out? Why don't they have PowerPoint? I want them to hit the ground running. I want them to be successful. It's such a short, it goes by so fast, even if it's 3-4 months. Some of the tricks that we figured out was, let's onboard them a little earlier, bring them on part-time so I can get the computer in their hands, so I can give them access, because everything takes so long, with all the protocols and best practices in these big companies. But we were able to work through, and maybe we can't, change the curriculum from the professors, but we were able to create a separate Excel program just for co-op. And Nestlé Health Science, I'm proud to say, gave a donation to fund that. And we created it together with the co-op. We said, okay, these are all the things. There's like 4 steps, and this is what we keep teaching over and over, our finance department, myself. And we said, let's create these 4 sort of categories, beginner, all the way up until the advanced, so that we can address some of those. And it really makes a big difference. Because sometimes I'll even see it before on their resumes. I'm like, great, they already have it. And if they don't, we require it. I require it, just because it's like, you want them to be successful. And you want them to be able to come in with that. Another thing that we do is what I informally call Feedback Fridays. Why Friday? I don't know, it's just like a little bit more relaxed. I just feel the other days are just like really busy. So Friday comes and I'm happy to spend time and just kind of go through and like really into the details. The buddy system is huge. Sometimes they might not want to, speak to the, depending on the level, but they'll do it with another intern. And so we kind of like connect them, or with people that are just above. I often sort of live my life like, how would I want to handle that? I was an intern years ago. And so from that perspective, I've also hired from other universities. I fully agree with you. You can see the difference with the co-op. I think you guys do a great job preparing them in advance every step of the way, in terms of mentoring within the program too. I don't know if that can be developed even further between interns. I mean, we do it internally, and certainly we talk a lot about networking. I agree with you about the LinkedIn. Often we talk about networking externally. I think it's really important for us too to have this network at all levels, because you don't know, like it's sometimes they'll have the tendency, they just want to hit certain, but it's also within their peers, because I can say that the people I met at Concordia, the friends I had here way back when, now, where they are, it's really exceptional. And if I reach out to them and ask for them to participate on a panel, or they'll always do that, I'll do the same for them. So some ideas.
Great, thank you. I'm connected.
You're mic'd, it's true.
So, do you have questions that you would like to ask our fantastic panelists?
If you do have a question, just raise your hand and we'll be sure to get a mic to you.
Hello, everyone. Me being a co-op student, and I have my last semester right now, so I'm not interning, having an internship anymore. But I would like to know, seeing the ratio that the amount of interns every year you have versus the positions that are open for full-time positions, how to navigate through that, how to navigate through being an intern in a big population to get a full-time, which is considerably small. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Very good question. I can't say numbers precisely because I don't have them top of my mind, but it's you know, every big company got different cycle. So we had period where there's lots of entry-level positions that are open. Other time, because of the project nature of the things that we're doing in the business, requires some highly skilled resources. It's hard to say we have X amount of position, but there's always movement. So new job, new project, maternity leave, transfer, retirement, that makes activity. There's always open position. And sometimes, and this is a tips and tricks from ex-recruiters, we asking for 8 to 3, 5, 6 years experience. Okay, but if you have 1 or 2 internship, that counts. So it's considered. So don't put yourself don't put yourself that I'm not gonna be able to. So share your experience. Don't be shy. Make sure you connect with your network. So to that stand. So sometimes people know internally. So that position, because we have that project, it's coming. So. And if you're keeping your network very active, they will tell you what's going on. So it's hard to say we have X amount. We don't have any specific target per month, per week, but there's a lot. And just to give you, I'm just going to bring you in the aerospace sector overall. This is where I'm working on. We're going to need 33,500 people in the next 10 years. So amongst them, there's interns or previous interns. So because of the silver tsunami that is coming, because it's not anymore in the next couple of years, it's happening as we speak. People start taking their retirement, and we're going to need people. So it's a fact. So just get ready. Just make sure you're looking for the right position and be curious.
Oh, of course. Yes, yes, yes.
You were talking about projects. I mean, of course, at AtkinsRealis, we are an engineering firm and we deliver services and projects, and therefore the timing for the position might alter during the year also. We tend to hire more at this period, well, actually more in January for this period of the year. But to your point, if we are looking for 3 to 5 years of experience, please apply, because sometimes, you know, there's opportunity for interns that have few months of experience, I mean 12 months, because usually it's about 3 cycle. And if they have been into our organization and we did not capture them and offer them when they left, it's certainly a good opportunity to apply and make sure that you're part of that journey after that.
I can build a little bit. I was actually speaking to a friend of mine who was also doing hiring, and she was saying that she was speaking to her daughter's friend who said, I can't find a job. And she said, oh, really? Have you applied? Like, what process are you going through? And she said, well, I wanted to, but all of these jobs, I'm not qualified. Every single one of them says, like, you know, exactly that, 3 to 5. And she said, you need to apply. So basically she wasn't applying. No kidding, you're not going to get any. And so the example that she was also giving was that sometimes they get the resume, and especially if you have some internship, then all of a sudden they say, you know what, maybe what we'll do is we'll move people around and we'll actually promote this person and then bring this person into that role. So, I mean, in terms of ideas, there's some.
Can I add a little something?
Sure.
When you do look at a job description, 2 things. One, you need to say yes to at least 75% of what that job description says. So you can check the box. And I hope you've all heard, the panelists talked about networking and LinkedIn and communicating and relationship building. So all those components that during your time, when you are an intern, work on that. Because that will allow you, one, to discover yourself, that people discover you, and discover your skill sets. So it's part and parcel of what you can do. And exactly that, what Josie just mentioned, if you have made your mark and they say, well, you know what, as an organization, we can move some parts, bringing in someone who has less experience will end up costing the organization less. And then they can bring other folks and move them to other roles. So there's possibility. So never say it's impossible. And even if you don't make it, stay in contact. And this is the beauty of LinkedIn. You can stay in contact with anyone, anytime, anywhere in the world. And people respond quickly. That's how I ended up in, it's the only way I can reach Marco.
We have time for one more question.
The gentleman over here.
Wonderful, I see you.
Robert Dussault, I'm from National Bank, part of the capital markets activity, and I've been part of the capital markets for many, many years, but I've only recently joined the campus group, so I'm asking a lot of questions here, I think. So first of all, this roundtable I thought was very, very interesting. Thank you very much for that. And Mr. Beaulieu, I have a question for you specifically. One of the questions we're asking ourselves right now is how good are we in our campus program? I mean, and we're looking for key performance indexes. And one of the questions we're asking is that, as we're converting these internships into permanent positions, are we good at it? And you mentioned you have a specific KPI to that, and you mentioned numbers. I think you had 150 students every year, and you converted those into 12 positions. Is that good? Is that not good? I'm just curious. I'm certain you're doing a great job, but what are the targets? How do you measure if you're doing a good job and based on those numbers? The 150 to 12, is that good or is that? So I'm just curious about that.
I know you understand data way more than me, so we are at our first year with that KPI. So so it's hard to say based on our benchmark.
Yeah.
And the transformation we have made in 2024, it's to force the organization to create entry position to making sure we keep. So this is more a culture shift and a transformation. Are we good? I can say yes, we're good, and okay, tap in my shoulders, this is good. I think it's not enough. It's never going to be enough. In my mind, it's not what I'm expecting. We can do more, obviously. But the one thing that for us, it's another key measure, and probably UHR understand that very well, it's the retention rate for the 0-12 months.
Yeah.
And when you are over 12% of new employee that leave the company in that short period, and when it's interns, so this is quite scary. So that measure every company, Banque Nationale got this, I'm pretty sure. I will be very glad to share with you after 1 year or 2 years how it's evolved. You can make some search, what is the benchmark and everything. It's and I can say, okay, based on our benchmark with 85% of the target, it won't make any things for you, but for me, we need more because when we mention the skills and everything, that brings to the company no bias, fresh pairs of eyes, okay, I've done this different way. That brings a lot. So one of our supervisors said, I think that gentleman, I learned as much as he or she learned during that internship. So for us, this is the future, and we need to force the business, and this is what we're doing as we speak. And the KPI at the CEO level, we feel, and there's changes that happening as we speak. So, but right now, if I say we're good, okay, that's I think it's not enough. It's on the right path, but it's not enough on what we think we should do as an organization.
Thank you.
This has been extraordinary. Thank you. Before we let you go, I've heard very clearly, and thank you for your question, to move ahead with steering committee bringing employers, students together, and to be able to share, get better ideas, and to be able to support, because at the end of the day, we're sort of that in-between place, and we really want to be able to do the best to help you recruit, retain, and for students to find the right employers and the right employer upon graduation. I know we can continue talking for a while, and I'm sure I saw some other people raising their hands, but we are going to move to the third part and less formal. So we're having our mocktail and just outside the lobby. And I do hope that most of you can stay as well. I want to thank you for your interest, your engagement. I want to thank you for your time, for your insights and what you shared about your organizations and your perspective.
Okay, thank you, everyone. Thanks for coming into ForSpace today for this event. Thanks you for participating. Thanks for your questions. And just congratulations to everyone. Just want to let you know, everyone joining us or watching with on YouTube, we're going to be closing up the live stream now. Of course, everyone here actually in the space, you're going to the atrium for the cocktail, etc. That's where you should be going. And don't forget, join us here next time at ForSpace, and the conversation remains available on our channel if you'd like to revisit it. Have a great